Satan and his demons, the enemies of the final battle. At the heart of many beliefs about the end times, especially those based on the book of Revelation, lies the figure of Satan and his legion of demons. They are portrayed not only as adversaries of God and humanity, but as the main antagonists in the grand, culminating battle of the end of the world. The origin of the conflict. According to Christian theology, Satan, originally known as Lucifer, was an angel of great beauty and power who rebelled against God. His pride and desire to usurp the divine throne led to his fall, and with him he dragged a third of the angels who joined his rebellion. These fallen angels became demons, evil beings who have since operated in the world, seeking to corrupt, deceive, and destroy God's creation. Since that primordial rebellion, the conflict between good and evil, between God and Satan, has been a driving force in the biblical narrative. Demons, under Satan's leadership, are described as spiritual forces of darkness that seek to dominate and pervert everything good and divine. The Bible describes them as cunning, deceitful, and full of hatred, acting as the executors of their leader's evil will. The battle of the end of the world in Revelation. The book of Revelation is the grand stage where this millennial conflict reaches its climax. It describes a series of cataclysmic events and spiritual and physical battles that will culminate in the definitive defeat of the forces of evil. Satan, also called the dragon and the ancient serpent, is the great enemy of God and his people, and he will lead his demonic hosts in a final, desperate attempt to prevail. This confrontation is often associated with the Battle of Armageddon, a symbolic or literal event where the armies of the earth, instigated by demonic spirits, will gather to fight against divine forces. It is in this scenario that Satan, the Antichrist, his primary human agent, and the false prophet, his religious agent, will mobilize all their energies to challenge the Creator. However, the apocalyptic narrative is clear about the outcome. Despite the power and ferocity of Satan and his demons, they are destined for defeat. Revelation predicts Satan's imprisonment for 1,000 years, and subsequently his final defeat and casting into the lake of fire and brimstone, along with the beast and the false prophet, marking the end of his reign of terror and the establishment of divine justice. The spiritual significance. For many, the story of Satan and his demons in the battle of the end of the world is not just a terrifying narrative, but a reminder of the ongoing conflict between good and evil that exists in the world and in the human heart. It serves as a call to spiritual vigilance and faith, reinforcing the belief that in the end, God's justice and power will prevail over all forms of darkness. This final battle, as described in Revelation, is the guarantee of divine victory and redemption for those who remain faithful, solidifying the promise of a new heaven and a new earth where evil will no longer have a place.